Hello everyone, and welcome to another Teambuilding video for the ODL Season 1, the Overpon Draft League. This week, in week 3, it's actually kind of derby in some ways, because we have to play against another German player, which is Bengallico. I hope I pronounced that correctly. With his team FC Bayern Munich. And spoiler alert, in my opinion, this is my worst matchup yet. Another probably important information I should mention is I used some of my FA transactions, and I gave away Celezo, and I picked up Chandelure and the Viper for two reasons. First of all, some of you may already know this, but the Viper is also one of my favorite Pokemon. And second of all, I wanted to have a ghost type because, I don't know. I don't like. I think a ghost type is pretty important, and Chandelure gives me a really good one. But also, what Chandelure provides is I finally have a good Scarfer in my team, because none of my in my previous team I didn't have any good Scarfer at all. I mean, sure, Flygon, for example, could be played with Choice Scarf, but when I went through some calcs in the damage calculator, Flygon's damage output is just too low with the Choice Scarf. So probably the two sets I will play the most on Flygon are either Choice Band, Choice Specs, or Dragon Dance, because it really needs that extra oomph behind its moves to be good offensively, at least. So I finally have a good Scarfer, because Rotom Wash is also not really that good of a Scarf Pokemon, especially since it lost Hidden Power, because move pool wise, not really. I picked up Chandelure and the Viper, but that's besides the point. So let's talk about Bengallico's team, which is scary, really scary. First off, his first Pokemon I will talk about is, as always, Kyurem, which he picked for 18 points. And Kyurem is a threat. I have very few checks against it. The main the things, let's talk about positives. It has a Stealth Rock weakness, which is good for me on one hand, but on the other hand, I really have to bring Stealth Rock now this week. Sure, he could play a Dragon Dance set with heavy duty boots, but I expect more like a Choice Spec set, for example, or a special attacker, because that's what Kyurem does best, especially coverage wise. So yeah, the problem is again coverage, especially special wise. Dragon hits really good. Sure, I have Empoleon and I have Sylveon, but Kyurem has coverage against them. For example, Focus Blast for Empoleon or Earth Power, whatever. I'm not sure what I expect more. If I expect more Focus Blast or Earth Power, both have their positives and both have their downsides. For example, I can switch into Specs Earth Power, good Tornado Styrian, Rotom Wash, Flygon, or Brute Bonnet. But it's good against Empoleon, Lycanroc, Chandelure, Seviper. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you will expect Seviper or to see Seviper on my end. So yeah, Focus Blast has its upsides and downsides too. Like it hits Empoleon way harder. Brute Bonnet, Komala, Lycanroc Dusk. Sure, I can switch into Necrozma, Sylveon, or Chandelure, but I don't know. I probably, now that I think about it again, expect Focus Blast a bit more, but I'm not sure. Because his step combination is basically mostly what he needs. Like the combination of Draco Meteor, Ice Beam, Freeze Dry. Holy shit! I had really difficulties to find any switching into those three moves alone. Like for example, Rotom Wash would be a really good switch into an Ice Beam, but if he goes for Freeze Dry, then I have a problem. Sylveon gets overpowered pretty easily by Ice Beam. And Empoleon, Freeze Dry is. I mean, sure, Empoleon can tank 2 Freeze Dries, but if he predicts that and goes for example, Focus Blast, then I have an issue. So it's really dependent on our predictions in the game, I feel like. So if he does the right predictions, then yeah, Kyurem will probably beat me. But if I make the right predictions, on the other hand, then I could possibly play around Kyurem better, but it depends. My other issue with Kyurem is that it's not that unbulky. So it's not a glass cannon. The only Pokemon, or the only 2 Pokemon, or 3 rather, which can threaten it really good on its own are Lycanroc Dusk, Flygon with Outrage, for example, Sylveon, multiple, and Gurdurr. The problem is I can't switch into Specs Kyurem with Lycanroc or Gurdurr, for example, at all. Like they get one hit KO'd. That's it. So yeah, sure, he doesn't want to switch into those with Kyurem, but I can't just throw them in either. So yeah, that's an issue. Defensively, I have one check I figured out could be or a potential, I should rather say, defensive check. which I will, and spoiler alert, I have this check, or I bring this check because I have to, so I will not like, yeah, you will see it as we go further into this team building video. Next up is Goldengo, and Goldengo, I had difficulties to decide if I want to mark Goldengo as red or as yellow, because the issue with Goldengo is, yes, I have next to none switch-ins into specs Goldengo, but he can't play, like, he has to decide if he plays specs Curum or specs Goldengo. What I'm really afraid of is Nasty Plot Goldengo. Sure, I have potential revenge killer, but if he plays like a very bulky Goldengo, yeah, then those are not really that good of revenge, or then those potential revenge killers have difficulties to revenge kill a full healthy Goldengo. Like, for example, Life Orb Lycanroc, I'm pretty sure can't. Wait, let me just real quick count this through again, because I'm not completely sure right now. Defensive Goldengo, yeah. Yeah, full HP Goldengo lives a crunch easily, and yeah, that's an issue from Life Orb Lycanroc Dusk. So yeah, he could like play Air Balloon for Flygon, etc. And Chandelure is slower than Goldengo. And spoiler alert, I in my opinion, Choice Scarf Chandelure is not that good in this matchup. Yeah, I know, I just like talked like at least 3 minutes or what it was about how good Choice Scarf Chandelure in general, in my opinion, is, but not in this matchup. And Make It Rain and Shadow Ball are again really good coverage on its own. So yeah, Goldengo was an issue, not as big as Cure in my opinion, but still an issue. Next up is Slowbro, and Slowbro was again a Pokemon I had difficulties to decide if I want to mark it red or yellow, and I decided to mark it yellow in the end because I think Slowbro under the right circumstances, and hear me out, I know this might sound crazy, could be a bit or could potentially be exploited by me, or abused, quote unquote, by me, because, like, for example, Rotom Wash is a really good switch in Slowbro. Slowbro doesn't do that much against Rotom Wash, but it's still annoying, especially for my physical offense, like Dusk and Brood Bonnet to some degree, except like mixed Brood Bonnet, which hits really hard. But other than that, sure, it checks Gurdor, Kromala, Chandelure not that really. Sorry, Flygon, that was it. But yeah, the problem is with Slowbro, like it's or Bengallicos defense in general in his team. Like the combination of Slowbro, Galaweezing and Alolan Mug. And Sanaconda, I never thought I would like say, oh, Sanaconda is kind of a threat. But yeah, it kinda is. So those 4 Pokemon, how do I say this? Combined are a problem, because I can't really break through them reliably with any of my offensive options. So yeah, and Slowbro can always be annoying with Regenerator, a Scald, Body Press for Pokemon like Empoleon. Yeah. Next up is, in my opinion, probably the biggest threat besides Kyurem, and that's Hisuian Arcanine, because this thing is ridiculous. Like, I have one defensive switching into this thing. One. That's it. That's basically it. Sure. Again, I have Pokemon which pressure Arcanine, like Dusk or Flygon Revenge kill this thing pretty good. But if they are low as well, then Arcanine has like extreme speed to kill them instead of them revenge killing Arcanine. So yeah, I in my opinion, or I think that, or I expect even that he will bring Choice Band Arcanine with the set of Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Close Combat, and Extreme Speed. I know this is basically like the standard set in the damage calculator, but that's all he needs. That's basically all he needs. The Pokemon which resist Flare Blitz in my team get run over by Head Smash, and vice versa. He has Close Combat for Empoleon, for example, which he don't need even, because Flare Blitz does too much. And yeah, I struggled probably the most against Arcanine, because and that's what I can say, I've built like at least 3 or 4 teams over the week, and like all of them except like the last and when I went over them again, like for a final time, and spent some time with that team in the damage calculator, either that team was weak as hell against Kyurem or weak as hell against Arcanine. That was a huge issue. Except my final team, which at least covers both in some degree. Not really perfectly or great, but decent, I'd say. Next up is the Root, and the Root could also be really dangerous because it's bulky. It's fast. Sword Stance is scary. Is always scary. Knockoff is always annoying. But it has some issues. For example, Tornadus is really good against the Root. Sylveon is, under the right circumstances, really good against the Root. For example, Full Fist Death Sylveon. And yeah, So he could bring it like basically every other mon he has. He could potentially bring all any of his 10 Pokemon against me. So yeah, the route could be dangerous, but we will see. Next up is Weezing, and the physical defensive capabilities between Slowbro and Galaweezing is simply ridiculous. Like, none of my physical breaker can break through at all. Like, I have to switch into any of my special attackers, but then his next Pokemon, Alolmuk, which I will now talk about as well, because I think it's fitting. Can switch in, and basically it continues like that. It's like, then I will switch into a physical attacker. He will switch in Weezing or Slowbro, and then I will switch into a special attacker, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. It's so annoying, and I hated it while I was building my team. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he will bring Alolmuk and either Slowbro or Weezing, if not both, which would be I hate it. I hate it so much. Next up is another offensive threat, which is Jolteon, and Jolteon is really fucking good. Holy shit! Like it naturally outspeeds my entire team, and the combination of Electric Step and either Terra Ice or Terra Grass, which basically he could play both, because both are pretty good. Hit my entire team, at least neutral. So yeah, probably he will whether play Terra Ice for Brute Bonnet and Flygon, because without Terra Ice he except with Alluring Voice, he can't break through Brute Bonnet. And even with Alluring Voice, I'm not sure right now if Jolteon really can break through with that, or through my Brute Bonnet. So yeah, next up is Sandaconda, and Sandaconda is again, physical defensive. Sandaconda is really annoying, especially for Lightning Dusk, and as you see, or as you probably already saw or see, Lightning Dusk is like my only really good Pokemon in this matchup. So that's basically the main reason why Sandaconda is marked yellow. And last, Ambipom. I'm not sure about Ambipom, because it's like, it's weird. He could bring it if he doesn't like expect Chandelure, because Ambipom can do a really good job, but he has to bring like the right 4 moves. I expect like Double Edge for stab or fake out only if he decides to do that, U-turn, and then like 2 coverage moves, either like low kick / brick break for Empoleon and Lycanroc. I expect 100% if he brings a triple Axel for Tornadus, Flygon and Brute Bonnet, and then like either like, or then he could also play knockoff for Chandelure. So yeah, it's but I don't expect Ambipom as much as his other 9 Pokemon. So overall, really difficult matchup. And let's go over my team real quick, shall we? Tornadus Tyrion, potentially really good, outspeeds like most his entire team except Jolteon, which is always nice. But yeah, it struggles, for example, defensively pretty hard against especially like Kyurem and Arcanine. So yeah, but potentially could do a really good job. Necrozma, Psychic is a really bad coverage against Bengallico's team. Yeah. But overall, Necrozma is Necrozma. Necrozma is always bulky, especially with Prism Armor. So, reliable recovery, stealth rock option. Necrozma is always decent, at least, in my opinion. Rotomwash's main issue is that it doesn't have reliable recovery outside of Pain Split, and like basically half of Bengallico's team 2-hit KOs Rotomwash. No matter Rotomwash set. If I play special defensive Rotomwash set, doesn't matter. If I play physical defensive Rotomwash set, doesn't matter. Because physical defensive Rotomwash, it doesn't matter if it's physical defensive or not, like Arcanine is in the root 2-hit KO this thing no matter what. Specially defensive Rotomwash gets 1-hit KO'd, I think, even from Kyurem, and yeah, not a good matchup for Rotomwash. Next up is Lycanroc, and Lycanroc Dusk was like the only Pokemon I feel like which gave me at least a bit hope again. I love that doggo. I learned to love that doggo in this last 3 weeks, because Stone Edge again is really good coverage, except against Goldengo and Anaconda, and for Goldengo I can play Crunch. Close Combat is good, and Accelerock is always really good to have, does really good damage. So yeah. Empoleon is weird, because it has similar issues to Rotom Wash, and that which means it can't take hits that well for most of the things, but decent enough. And what's important is Empoleon would give me in this matchup really good utility moves, or really good utility options, like a slow flip turn. It has reliable recovery, which is always important, especially because, as you already can see, both of my wish users are not good in this matchup. Steel is surprisingly good, pretty decent coverage in this matchup. So yeah, Empoleon is decent, but not great. Next up is Sylveon, and Sylveon has the exact same issue as Rotom Wash has. It just doesn't tank hits good enough to justify it. And sure, Specs Sylveon would deal good damage, but it just gets stonewalled by a little mug. And yeah, it's not great. Chandelure it's fine, I guess. Choice Specs Chandelure would do really, really, really good damage, but basically it's too slow. Because all four of Bengallico's main offensive threats, Kyurem, Goldengo, Arcanine, and Jolteon, are faster than it. So it can get revenge killed easy, very easy. And as I already talked about, I have like one defensive switch into Kyurem and one defensive switch into Arcanine, and I want to keep them healthy as long as humanly possible. And Chandelure, and I'm forced into switching into those checks with Chandelure, and that's an issue. Next up is Flygon. Flygon is decent, but not amazing. It struggles a bit against the root, in my opinion. Choice band variants, for instance, but it especially struggles against Slowbro, and even more against Weezing. Like, Weezing eats Flygon's moves for breakfast. It has an immunity to both of my stabs, which is a huge issue. U-turn does next to nothing, like, it's laughable. And I don't really have good coverage against it, so yeah, no. Brute Bonnet is really important in this matchup, and I will say more about it further into the team meeting, because spoiler alert, Brute Bonnet is is in my team for this week. Girder is also important, because spoiler alert, I also have Girder in my team this week. Komala, before I spent some time with it in the damage calculator, I thought, maybe Komala would be a good specially defensive check against Kyurem, Goldengo. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. It gets 2-hit KO'd, no matter how much special defense investment I gave it. No matter if it had the AV or not. No, Komala is out of its depth this week. And Seviper, no. Seviper does nothing. Also, really, it's almost sad how little Seviper would do in this matchup. So yeah, that's like, again, hopefully quick overview. I'm not sure how long this is so far. So yeah, next up, I think we will go over my team and what I've built for this week, shall we? So here we are, and with the team meeting, and I should probably explain what's going on here. It's pretty much self-explanatory. In the middle you see those 6 Pokeballs, which will be filled with the Pokemon that I will bring the week. On the right you see the team of my opponent for the week, and how I see them in the matchup, so like with the yellow point, red point, green point, and so on. And yeah, I thought, why not do those graphics, because I just wanted to. Maybe I will continue doing this, I don't know, but for this week I thought, why not, because yeah. And the first Pokemon that I will bring is gonna be, of course, Lycanroc, as I already mentioned in the matchup overview or matchup analysis. Lycanroc is my best offensive breaker, I think. So yeah, it was pretty obvious, I think, that I will bring Lycanroc again, and I play it with this set. Tough Claws, as always, with the Jolly Nature, 40 EVs in HP because that was left over, 252 attack and 216 speed. With that, I'm outspeeding, I think, Ambipom. It should be Ambipom or Zarude. One of those two. I'm not. No, it has to be Zarude. Yeah, sorry. Ambipom is faster. So yeah, and with the moves Stone Edge, Close Combat, Crunch, and Accelerock. Stone Edge for Kyurem, Arcanine. That's basically it. And Close Combat for Zarude, for Ambipom. It's also like good against Kyurem. And Crunch for Goldengo and for Slowbro, but primarily for Goldengo, so that Lycanroc doesn't get walled by it. And Accelerock because priority is always nice. And Choice Band. The thing is, I would have preferred to play Life Orb again, but my issue was that I wouldn't hit like certain damage thresholds with Life Orb, or certain ranges, and which I hit with Choice Band. So yeah, I do more against Weezing, which is really important. More against his defensive in general. So yeah, that's why I play Choice Band. It's really prediction reliant, I think, because I have to make the right predictions and because I'm locking myself into a move. So yeah, that's basically Lycanroc, pretty self-explanatory. And I think we should go over to the next Pokemon, which is Brute Bonnet. Yeah, Brute Bonnet. And I play Brute Bonnet with the following set. Again, Assault Vest, Photosynthesis, because it's the only ability Brute Bonnet can have, Brave Nature, 248 HP investment, so basically full HP investment, 48 in attack, because that's all I was able to afford, 284 in special defense, and 28 in speed. And what I wasn't really able to or manage to visualize in this graphic is that I played Terra Fire Brute Bonnet this week. And that's my Kyurem check, because Choice Specs Kyurem doesn't do 50% with Draco Meteor against Terra Fire Brute Bonnet, and Earth Power does less, 46% max against from timid Choice Specs Kyurem. If he really plays modest specs Kyurem, then I have a problem. But other than that, yeah. The moves. I play Giga Drain, Close Combat, Crunch, and Stomping Tantrum. Now, at first I played Sucker Punch instead of Giga Drain, but I ran into some issues while I was spending time with it in the damage calculator, which was that this set would have been hard-walled by Zanaconda, which I wanted to avoid. So I thought, why not Giga Drain? Also, it could do a little bit more against Slowbro. It depends on his investment on Slowbro. So if he plays more especially defensive Slowbro, then Crunch will do more. If he plays like a physical defensive Slowbro, then Giga Drain will do more. It depends. But also Giga Drain is nice for that little bit of recovery that I get from it. So I thought, why not? I played 28 speed investment to speed creep Alone Muck. If he doesn't play any speed investment in Alone Muck, because I wanted to be faster than it, so I thought, why not? Sure, I can't hit nearly as or I can't hit harder, which would maybe nice, but I hit decently. Like I 2-hit KO Kyurem with close combat. I 2-hit KO offensive Goldengo. I should 2-hit KO it. I even 1-hit KO Arcanine, I think. So yeah. The only issue with this set is I do literally nothing against Galaweezing, which is a problem. Let's be honest, it's a problem. But Brute Bonnet does not have any moves against Galaweezing at all, basically. So yeah. That's why I thought, fuck it, I need Brute Bonnet against Kyurem badly. So yeah, that's why I will bring it again this week. Next up is Gurdurr. Gurdurr is also a really important Pokemon, and you will now see why. I play Iron Fist again with an Impish nature this time. 248 HP investment, basically full HP investment. 28 in attack, because that's what I had left over. 160 defense investment and 72 SPDEF investment. The SPDEF investment is important because Kyurem, Kyurem still has it's a role if Draco Meteor one-hit KOs Gurdurr, but I at least wanted to have like a role in my favor. That's why I play this special defense investment, and I play 160 defense investment for Hisuian Arcanine. That's the only reason, and that's also like basically the only reason why I bring Gurdurr this week. Simply to have a switch into Arcanine, because Arcanine can't 2-hit KO Gurdurr. And yeah, the moves. I play Drain Punch again because it gives me recovery. It's still strong. Like I still 2-hit KO Kyurem. And so on. Knock off, because it's knock off, it's always good, especially against Slowbro. I can knock off the boots or the leftovers of Slowbro. High horsepower for Arcanine, so that I can safely 1-hit KO this thing, but also for Alone Muck. I don't think I can 2-hit KO Alone Muck, but it's chip, which could be important because Alone Muck doesn't have reliable recovery on its own outside of Rest, so that could be important. And also for Jolteon, if I'm forced to stay in with Gurdurr against Jolteon. So yeah, and Mach Punch again for priority. So yeah, it struggles a bit against Anaconda, and again it does do nothing against Levitate Galaweezing, and I'm sure, and I'm almost like, I'm pretty certain that he will bring Galaweezing, if he decides to bring Galaweezing, that he will play with Levitate, because it would sure, it would be nice to like nullify abilities like Tough Claws on Lycanroc, but I think the ground immunity is more valuable in this matchup. So yeah, because otherwise he struggles a bit against ground coverage. Like sure, he has the root, but other than that, his only like ground immunity / resistance is Galawheezing with Levitate, and Flygon would be pretty good if he plays Neutralizing Gas. So yeah, that's good. Simple, but I need it. And the next Pokemon is Necrozma. Again, it's fun fact. It's with Lycanroc Dusk and Necrozma are the only two Pokemon which I brought all 3 weeks so far. But it's still it's good. And I played this set: Psychic, Charge Beam, Stealth Rock, and Morning Sun. With the leftovers, I play Prism Armor because it's the only ability. With Bold Nature, 248 in HP investment, 48 defensive investment, and 212 special defense investment. Why do I play the moves that I play? First off, I really wanted to have Stealth Rock or Hazards in general this week because of Curon, because of Arcanine, to chip those mons as good as possible, but also so that Slowbro can't switch in for free to basically chip his mons over the course of the game with them. Morning Sun for recovery, Psychic because stab, and Charge Beam. Now Charge Beam is interesting because I struggled to find the best coverage move. I could have played like Focus Blast. I could have played no, not Focus Blast. Sorry, Earth Power, Power Jam, but I decided to play Charge Beam because it's my best move against Slowbro in my opinion. Sure, I could play Dark Pulse, but Dark Pulse doesn't 2-hit KO mixed defensive Slowbro, and maybe I can get some special attack boosts. I mean, it is a 70% chance, but knowing my luck, that won't really happen. But if it happens, then Necrozma can become a pretty big threat, because after like 2 special attack boosts, he doesn't really have any good switch-ins outside of Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk is like the only issue with this set. Because even after like 4 boosts, I don't do anything against Muk. But other than that, I thought, why not try it out? It's like a kind of a compromise, I think. So yeah, let's see. The main task for Necrozma in this match is to set up Stealth Rock, and if Necrozma manages to do that, then Necrozma did a good job. So yeah, that's Necrozma. And the next Pokemon is, and the penultimate Pokemon on my team is Empoleon. Now, I had Empoleon in my team, or I was pretty certain that I would bring Empoleon before I even built this Necrozma set. But the question for me was, who will be my stealth rock setter? Will it be Empoleon or Necrozma? But Empoleon has really bad 4 move slot syndrome, as I love to call it, because I wanted to play a lot of moves. And I decided on the following 4 moves. I play competitive as its ability with a sassy nature, 248 EVs in HP, 16 in attack, 116 in defense, and 128 in special defense with the Choppel Berry for like Cure with Focus Blast, for example. With the moves Flash Cannon, Earthquake, Roost, and Flip Turn. Now I really want to play like Surf, Flash Cannon, Earthquake, Roost, Flip Turn, Stealth Rock, a lot of moves. But I decided to play those 4. Flash Cannon is, objectively speaking, the better coverage in this matchup than Surf is, especially because I hit like Curen and especially Galaweezing super effectively. Earthquake for Arcanine and for Alolan Muck and for Jolteon, but I'm sure I won't stay in against Jolteon with Empoleon. Roost for recovery as usual, and Flip Turn simply for the momentum, for slow momentum. And I play the 16 attack. It doesn't really like change any calcs, damage calcs, but I thought, why not? It gives my Earthquake or Flip Turn a little more oomph behind it. So I thought, why not? I don't need special attack investment, and I don't need any more defensive investment, because I should live like at least 1 hit from most of his mons. So yeah, that's Empoleon. I'm still not confident with Empoleon, not gonna lie, because like almost all of his offensive threats 2-hit KO Empoleon at the very least. I don't know if Jolteon even 1-hit KOs Empoleon outright, but yeah. Now the main issue with this set is it basically provides a free switch in for Slowbro, because I don't do anything against Slowbro. So I'm forced to click Flip Turn in that case. I don't really have like a clear game plan as of now. I still have to figure out what I do if this scenario occurs, but we will see. And my last and final Pokemon for the team is Tornadus Therian. And yeah, Tornadus Therian can do a good job, especially if he decides against Jolteon, then Tornadus Therian becomes really, really good. And I play the following set. I play Regenerator because it's Tornadus' only ability with a hasty nature this time. 128 EVs in HP, 28 in attack, 200 in special attack, 24 in special defense, and 128 in speed. With this investment, I should be speed creep to outspeed the Root, I think, or cure him at the very least. I play this special defense investment like 24 in special defense, so that timid choice specs Jolteon can't 1-hit KO me or 1-hit KO Tornadus with the Thunderbolt. 200 special attack investment because that's what I had left. or that was all I was able to afford, and 28 in attack, because with this investment I do at least, or I do more than 50%, like a little bit over 50% at the very least, against offensive Goldango with knockoff, which was important to me, because I don't want to give offensive Goldango the opportunity to click Nasty Prot in my face. And I play Hurricane, Focus Blast, and I hope to God that I won't miss. I'm so scared of missing every move, but I need Hurricane for extra damage, and I need Focus Blast for Curem and Arcanine. So yeah, in U-turn for Momento. And I played the Boots for the first time on Tornadus, because of potential stealth work from Zanaconda, or from Arcanine, if he really decides to play Arcanine with stealth work. So yeah, that's my team. Overall, I'm not really confident this week with the team that I built, because I'm afraid that it might be like a bit too defensive or passive in a way, because I would have liked to play more, at least one more breaker, because I love to have at least two breaker. The best case scenario in my opinion is if I have at least one physical breaker and at least one special offensive breaker in a team, but I wasn't really able to play or to build this way this week, so it turned out pretty defensive, but I hope that it won't be like too passive or too defensive in the end, and that I will still be able to get the win. So yeah, that's my team. And you can, if you want, like write me a comment and tell me how what if you would have like built anything differently, or if you maybe you saw something that I didn't, and you can also feel free to tell me, like if you think, for example, a Pokemon like Sylveon would have been great in this matchup. I'm open for that. And yeah, other than that, if you like the video, then maybe leave a like or comment or subscribe, and I will see you probably most likely tomorrow with the fight itself. So yeah, see you then, bye.